Now at 9, authorities respond to a shooting in Webb City that left one woman in critical condition. Plus, some Missouri business groups file a challenge to the Show Me State's intention to raise the minimum wage. And
the political instability in South Korea appears to be growing, with lawmakers inching closer to impeaching the president. I'm Greg Palcott in London. That's my story. Coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Authorities are investigating a shooting in Webb City. This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Dow Quick. Investigators say around 5:30 this morning, 2 people with gunshot wounds drove themselves to the Airport Drive neighborhood market. One male victim was grazed by gunfire, and a female victim suffered a life-threatening gunshot wound. She's listed in critical condition at last report. The 2 were wounded at a home on the 1300 block of West Austin. Authorities came to the home at around 5:45 and remained there for nearly 3 hours before 4 people came out. All 4 were detained. Both victims have been transported to an area hospital. Starting on January 1st, minimum wage in Missouri is set to increase to $13.75 an hour, and in 2 years, up to $15. But Missouri business groups have now filed a legal challenge to the newly passed proposition. KOAM Samantha Walker is in the studio to explain what that means.
Voters passed Prop A with more than 57% in support of it. The proposition raises minimum wage to $15 by 2026, with further increases depending on inflation. In addition to that, Missouri businesses will be required to provide 1 hour of paid sick time for every 30 hours worked. That provision will go into effect on May 1st of next year. Groups like Business for a Fair Minimum Wage support the proposition, saying, quote, "Business owners across the state say the minimum wage increase will boost consumer spending and strengthen Missouri's workforce, businesses, and economy." But others, including the Missouri Chamber of Commerce, the Missouri Grocers Association, and the Missouri Restaurant Association, are speaking out against Prop A for financial and legal reasons. In a joint statement, they state the measure will, quote, "increase prices for consumers and impose significant financial burdens on businesses of all types and sizes." These groups have submitted a legal challenge to the Missouri Supreme Court, hoping to get the proposition invalidated. What's invalid? The challenge claims the proposition has misleading language and language that creates prejudice for the amendment. Because of those reasons, they believe the elections of this proposition is invalid. Issue number 1. The Missouri Constitution requires ballot initiatives to contain a single subject. The petition claims Prop A contains 2 unrelated subjects, minimum wage and earned sick leave. Supporters of Prop A argue the minimum wage and sick leave are related enough, tying back to the single subject of worker welfare. The petition has been sent to the Missouri Supreme Court, but because Prop A is a law change, lawmakers could overturn the measure. In the studio, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
Samantha, thanks. Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty joins us now with our first look at the weather.
Yeah, and it was chilly outside today. Only 42 for an afternoon high, so below where we should be for this time of the year. 28 is where we started. 49 is our average high. 74, the record high set back in 1949. It's 33 in Joplin. It's 30 in Pittsburgh. We're pretty much at our overnight lows. Southerly winds starting to kick in, so that's going to keep our temperatures it's cold, but fairly steady as we go through the overnight hours. South winds will start to pick up a little bit, especially late tonight into tomorrow morning due to a warm front that kind of shifted through. We have some clouds in our far northern counties, but besides that, most of us are seeing pretty much clear skies, but we'll get partly cloudy skies in here a little bit later on tonight. Big warm up for us on Thursday. We're going to look at that here in just a bit.
See you soon. Cold weather can cause a number of problems when people are trying to keep warm. Authorities this week had to respond to a chimney fire in the Kelsey Norman neighborhood of Joplin. Responders alerted one resident before helping them to safety. It took about 90 minutes to extinguish that fire. There were no injuries. If you intend to use a fireplace, head over to KOAMnewsnow.com for a complete interview with Joplin Fire Training Chief Dustin Luhnow on the importance of making sure your chimney is properly inspected and cleaned by a professional. We've been dealing with cold temperatures that make us want to stay in our warm homes, but behind that cozy warmth are the vital utilities that need regular maintenance. KOAM's Anthony Saviello spent the day with a technician who's working hard to help ensure you're ready to face the chill.
The world is moving towards high efficiency heat pumps, and that's the main portion of our business.
A business Cole Osborne started, a business he has a passion for.
I don't have 12 years of experience. I have 20 years of experience shoved into 12 years.
He uses that experience to make sure his clients can live comfortably in their own homes. To quickly get to the center of the problem.
Can't see much, but there's enough corrosion on this thing to impede that signal.
And get it fixed.
So just a gentle scrape is enough to improve that current and increase the reliability of the furnace over the winter.
Unfortunately, everything has a price tag.
Things have become so expensive that the average person is in a perfectly reasonable position to wonder, how am I going to pay for this?
But what's a business without solutions?
One of the things that kind of separates this company from a lot of others is that we have financing available.
For him, it's more than just a job. It's a way to make people's lives better.
A heating and air contractor's job is to give information, help guide somebody to the best decision for them.
In Joplin, Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
Osborne encourages homeowners to regularly replace the filters in their heating systems, and if they have any issues, to contact a local HVAC technician as soon as possible. Coming up, ringing in a healthy holiday season. We have advice from the experts on how to keep you and your family healthy during the holidays. And advanced breast cancer cases are on the rise. Experts say pandemic disruptions might be a link.
Jazzy little Christmas in Neosho. Tickets on sale now.
High Winds here from your friends at High Winds.
Still time to craft your holiday wish list, but out of all the items you might be asking for, well, illnesses probably don't make the cut. With cases of colds, flus, and respiratory diseases getting ready for their annual spike, health experts are sharing tips and tricks to help keep you merry and bright. Fox News' Chris Demio takes a closer look.
While it's the season of giving, the last thing you want to bestow on your loved ones is
the coughs, the sore throats, the fevers, that kind of thing.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention predicts flu and COVID-19 cases will spike in the coming weeks, and medical experts say the viruses behind colds and influenza are usually at their peak from December through February.
Holiday gatherings bring people inside and in close contact, which can facilitate disease spread.
Doctors recommend people get their flu and COVID-19 vaccines, citing how time to bolster protection may be running out.
It takes about 2 weeks for your body to produce enough antibodies to provide protection after an immunization.
But some travelers on long flights may be prone to additional health risks they may need to prevent.
Sometimes we worry about things like blood clots in the legs or the lungs, which would be very serious, of course.
Meanwhile, this time of year is also known for shorter and colder days. The holidays are also a time for indulging in many treats. Doctors say ramping up exercise routines can be a gift for your mental and physical health.
Instead of, that extra helping of whatever your favorite dish is, maybe go for a walk. Get some folks to go with you. If you enjoy Christmas caroling, maybe walking around the neighborhood singing Christmas carols might be a nice, healthy way to enjoy some of those activities.
And even though it can be crushing to have to miss a gathering, if you're sick, some doctors say it's better to take time and heal while also protecting the vulnerable.
Babies or grandparents are at especially high risk of not only respiratory illness, but complications associated with respiratory illness.
Chris DeMeo, Fox News.
New studies suggest cutting children's exposure to their parents' smoking might lower their risk of developing multiple sclerosis later in life, at least among people who are genetically predisposed to the disease. Researchers in the Netherlands looked at thousands of brain scans. They found higher MS genetic risk and household smoking were associated with lower total brain volume. New findings show higher cardiorespiratory fitness is linked to the preservation of core cognitive abilities in older adults. Researchers in Florida found study participants with the highest aerobic fitness performed better on tests involving memory, processing speed, and executive function. Doug is next with a complete look at the forecast, and later Schreiber Foods announces a major expansion bringing jobs and innovation to Carthage.
Arts.
Well, it definitely turned out to be a chilly one for us today. Also a little bit on the breezy side. High temps only into lower 40s during the afternoon hours. Looks great right now. Nice shot of our Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex tower cam, of course. We are looking downtown Joplin. All right, see this wind shift line from Yates Center, Fort Scott, over towards Stockton. That's our warm front. So we have southerly winds south of it. So we are pretty much at our overnight low. We're not going to really drop off from this point on. Those southerly winds being on the south side of that front will keep our temperatures up just a bit. But a little breezy. South winds 5 to 10, temps sitting right around freezing. And the winds are fairly light, but by morning we're going to have gusts which are going to be 20 upwards of 30 miles per hour at times. The front just kind of hangs in our northern counties through tomorrow night, lifts north on Friday. So again, Friday is going to be kind of windy, winds gusting 25 upwards to 30 miles per hour. So it is going to be windy as we go through the next couple days. A few little clouds kind of shooting through our northern counties. Besides that, not a whole bunch going on. Looks pretty good across the region. We have one storm system exiting the region, little ridge of high pressure starting to roll in. That's going to help us warm up. Out toward the west, not a strong system, but this system will start to affect us by Friday into Saturday, giving us chances for rain across the region. All right, let's go through time. So temperatures hold pretty steady tonight. Here's 6:30 in the morning. Sunshine during the morning hours. We warm into really the mid-50s by about the noon hour. We are going to get some mid and upper level clouds during the afternoon, but high temps 57, 8, 9, maybe even 60 degrees. So a big warm up compared to what we saw today. Clouds will continue to thicken tomorrow night heading into Friday morning. We'll start into lower 40s, cloudy skies all day long on Friday, but a few hit and miss spotty showers. Not a big deal, just a few hit and miss spotty showers. However, as we get into the evening hours, these spotty showers start to increase just a little bit. Then we get bands of showers and thunderstorms after midnight. Doesn't look like anything strong or severe, a little too cold for that, but bands of scattered showers and thunderstorms all the way into Saturday morning. It's going to be scattered, but I think most of us will at least get some rain, and any rain that we do see will start to exit by midday on Saturday. Then we look pretty good for the afternoon, and then we got another round of showers moving in by Sunday night. All right, 57, so warmer on your Thursday, 52 Friday, near 60 Saturday, 64 on Sunday, but we do have those rain chances Friday through Monday.
Use a bit of rain. We could use more than a bit, but
Yeah,
it'll take a week.
definitely
again.
good.
Thanks, Doug. Coming up, Pittsburgh High School cracks down on cell phone use, saying it's a distraction to learning.
ALS aims to compete in 100 marathons.
Say and KOAM News Now, supporting the 4 states' first responders.
High school students in Pittsburgh will have more cell phone restrictions starting next semester. KOAM's Lonnie Walton spoke to the high school principal about the changes and the reasons behind them.
Cell phones are a distraction to the learning environment.
Chris Krotz is the assistant principal at Pittsburgh High School. He says there's no reason a student should ever be on their cell phones during class. His main source of information comes from those with first-hand experience, the teachers.
Some of our teachers that have had more of a strict cell phone policy have noticed major differences in our engagement pieces in the classroom.
The already existing rule is that cell phones are not to be seen or used during class time. That includes in the hallways or in bathrooms. Phones can be on, but have to be in silent mode. But now it has to be in airplane mode. And if students are going to use headphones, they have to have a cord and can't be plugged into a phone. And one argument heard from parents to allow phones in the school is safety. What if there's a dangerous situation like an active shooter?
I actually feel like we have very good, strong policies there that we train and do year round, and none of those policies have anything or any need for students to have their cell phone.
And as far as video evidence of a situation,
Actually have a very good camera system throughout our school that we use quite regularly.
in case of an emergency, parents are required to contact the school to deliver a message. The student can then get permission to call the parent back. And I asked about parents' opposition to the rule, but he says there really isn't any.
Not really. Not really opposition, more of just as we've kind of developed this plan, there's been good conversations that have helped to kind of mold it.
Crotch says it's all there to help make our students better succeed.
It helps to free our kids from constant social media and notifications and all that.
Reporting in Pittsburgh, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
Now, Crotch says the policy is only bell to bell. Students are allowed to use their phones during breaks and on school buses as long as they follow all the school policies. Schreiber Foods in Carthage, Missouri is set to grow with a major expansion. The company announced plans for a new 168,000 square foot production facility with what they call cutting edge technology. The $211 million project is going to create 150 new jobs and is slated to begin next month with completion expected by 2027. Schreiber Foods, a community staple since 1950, currently employs more than 1,300 people. A Carthage philanthropic group announces they're gearing up for their fall grant season. Carthage 365, a giving circle created by the Carthage Community Foundation, will begin taking applications for its fall grant round on January 2nd. Applicants can come from civic, education, or faith-based groups serving the Carthage area. All applications must be completed and submitted online by January 17th. Grant announcements will be made in mid-February. Top sniper teams from all across the country are facing off in marksmanship competitions that are underway at Fort Chaffee in Arkansas. Service members from all 50 states and sniper teams from several countries are competing. Brett Rain spoke with some of the people taking their shot at greatness.
The top 1% of shooters in the world right here. This is the premier sniper competition pretty much in the world.
Lane 2! Fifth placard down to the right! On it!
These snipers and their spotters are the best of the best. Now they're competing to see who comes out on top. It's all happening at Fort Chaffee, where National Guard members and active military members are taking to the range. Teams from Italy, Germany, and the Netherlands are also here.
This competition is not just about shooting. It's about sharing of ideas, networking, and applying the tactics that will shape the battlefield for future years to come.
Foxtrot is to the right of the 4-5.
The teams are put through a variety of challenges. This round, snipers are shooting moving targets more than 500 meters away, which is more than 5.5 football fields. And spotters are using machine guns to help.
It makes the soldier adapt to the battlefield and how combat is constantly evolving. This as a little twist makes them think outside the box, and it's not just precision shooting. They have to adapt to other threats in competition as well.
And when it comes to being the best, First Sergeant Justin Fisher with the National Marksmanship Training Center says,
these guys have spent countless hours on ranges in the cold and the rain and the snow and the sleet to get better at what they do. That's what separates an average shooter from the best.
That competition wraps up tomorrow. The winners will advance and compete in the international sniper competition that happens in Georgia in a few months. Up next, a heartwarming play inspired by A Christmas Carol.
It's a 5-letter word that starts with P.
Committed to community service.
For an awful lot of people, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation remains the holiday go-to, even after multiple viewings. But how much do they know about the classic Christmas comedy? Well, the Parsons Public Library put that to the test tonight with a Christmas Vacation trivia night. Visitors could test their Christmas vacation knowledge and enjoy some ice cream.
You know, it's an older movie, so a lot of people have probably seen it, and we thought, why not?
I gotta be honest, it was because my mom, she loves it, and I love watching it with her as well, so.
That event took place at the Cherry on Top Ice Cream Parlor. Yum, yum. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports coming your way. Coming up, a man accused of plotting to kill former President Trump at his Florida golf course pleads not guilty. Plus, more political chaos in South Korea following the failed declaration of martial law by that nation's president.
Big Bang Theory, tonight at 10.
Here from your friends at Highwinds.
You're watching the 4 States Most Watched News.
The man accused of trying to kill Donald Trump at his Florida golf course appeared in court today. Ryan Routh's attorneys are trying to delay the trial and are considering an insanity plea. Routh is accused of lying in wait for more than 12 hours, pointing a rifle through the bushes at Trump's West Palm Beach golf course in September. Former Trump officials are working with a drone technology company to build a digital fence, as they call it, on the border. Fox correspondent Max Gordon has that story.
Over the years, we've heard a lot about building a wall at our southern border. And while that might be useful in populated areas, in others, the future might be a digital fence. And these are some of the tools at play. These are drones built by Design Technologies based in Irvine, California. This right here is the Leap, and it can patrol for 30 hours at a time. This right here is the Ultra, and it can fly for up to 80 hours at a time. The thing that makes these drones unique is that they can take off, fly, and land all on their own. Nobody at the stick, and they utilize advanced camera technology. You can see it right here. This camera can detect movement at 25,000 feet in the air. According to Design Technologies, they would be able to patrol the southern border with 3 to 5 of these drones up in the air at a time. Now, another big issue at the southern border, drone incursions. According to the Department of Defense, there's around 1,000 of these drone incursions every single month. We're talking about cartels using drones to transport drugs and also on reconnaissance missions. And well, Design has built a product to try to combat this. This is called the Drone Buster. It costs about $50,000 a pop, and law enforcement officials can essentially point this gun at a drone, and they can bring the drone down or even send it back to where it came from. It's all in an effort to make the southern border safer through technology.
So many Americans, 111,000 Americans were killed last year due to illegal drugs coming across the border. This is a bipartisan issue. This isn't a Republican and Democrat issue. This is an American issue. Border security is national security.
With the advent of DOGE, government spending and government efficiency has really come to the forefront. Now, when President Trump's border wall initially was proposed, it was going to be at a cost of around $21 billion. These drones cost a lot less money, around $3 to $5 million a piece. Currently, Design Technologies doesn't have a contract with U.S. Customs and Border Patrol, but they are in talks, all in an effort, again, to make the southern border safer through the use of technology. In Chino, California, Max Gordon, Fox Business.
More upheaval in South Korea in the run-up to an expected impeachment vote against that country's unpopular president. Fox News senior foreign affairs correspondent Greg Palcott has more.
More political chaos in South Korea following a failed declaration of martial law by President Yoon Suk-yeol. The president says he was doing it to protect his country from North Korea. The opposition says it was a power grab and they're trying to impeach him. On Wednesday, things came to a head at the president's office. Police trying to enter were stopped outside and not allowed to search the office as part of their investigation.
We are discussing the team's entry and trying to figure out the reasons why they were denied access.
Then the situation took an even darker turn. South Korea's defense minister, under arrest for his role in enforcing the martial law, attempted suicide in prison. Authorities say they intervened and he's now being held in a protective cell.
He tied his thermal underwear and used it to attempt hanging himself. We immediately dispatched personnel and Kim gave up on the attempt.
The White House says it's monitoring the situation but won't intervene in South Korean politics. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin was scheduled to visit the country this week, but he changed his schedule after the martial law declaration. He went to Japan instead, reassuring America's allies that South Korea remains a crucial partner in the Pacific region.
Let me be clear. America's extended deterrence commitment to Japan and to the Republic of Korea is ironclad.
And North Korea is weighing in on the turmoil for the first time, calling the South Korean government a, quote, fascist dictatorship. In London, Greg Palcott, Fox News.
Doug is next with a complete look at the 10-day forecast, and later, a story of redemption and second chances being acted out on stage.
Department of Research and Delicious-ment.
We topped off.
Well, of course, it turned out to be a chilly one for us today. Temperatures only into lower 40s during the afternoon, but we are going to see a nice little warm up as we go through the next couple days. A warm front has shifted through. I know it doesn't feel warm outside, but this will keep our temperatures from dropping off anymore as we go through the overnight hours for us tonight, and in return will allow us to warm up a decent amount as we go into Thursday and also on Friday. We're kind of hanging out 30 to about 32 degrees. Most areas, a couple of upper 20s, but we're pretty much at our overnight low. We're not really going to drop off much more from this point on. 33, southerly winds 5 to 10. Again, those south winds will keep our temps up just a little bit. And they're not strong, but sustained 5 to 10. But our gust will really start to go up later on tonight. You can see where that warm front is in our northern counties. So by tomorrow, we'll have winds gusting 20, upwards to 30 miles per hour at times. Even on Friday, we're still going to have those southeasterly winds gusting 25 upwards to 30 miles per hour. So a little windy as we go through the next couple days. All right, looking outside, just a few little clouds kind of shooting across our northern counties. We are going to have partly cloudy skies as we go through the overnight hours for us tonight. One storm system heading out, next storm system heading in. You can see this little dip here in the upper level flow. It's not a strong system, but it will give us some rain as we go into Friday and then heading into the weekend. All right, so let's walk through time. By morning, temperatures very similar to what we are seeing right now. By the noon hour, we get into the mid 50s. Remember, today only 41, so this is a big warm up. High temperatures 57, 58, 59 degrees. We're going to get some mid and upper level clouds increasing late in the day, and then cloudy skies to kick off Friday morning. Through the day on Friday, back into the 50s, but you can see a few little spotty showers popping up. Not heavy, very scattered, but as we get into Friday evening, the scattered showers, even a random thunderstorm, will become a little bit more numerous, especially after midnight, especially on the Missouri and Arkansas side. Scattered showers and a few thunderstorms lasting into Saturday morning. And then all of this will push into central eastern Missouri, and the rest of the day will be dry. Heading into Sunday, clouds increase again, but our temperatures are going to be great as we make it up right around 60 to 62 degrees. But Sunday night, we start to see rain increasing again. So showers across the region. Here's Monday morning, and then pushing out of here by the time we get into Monday afternoon. How much rain could we get out of the next two storm systems? It's not a ton, but by Monday, maybe a quarter of an inch, Kansas, Oklahoma, but quarter, half an inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch once you get into southwestern Missouri. All right, here's your day planner for you on your Thursday. 38 to start, 54 by noon, high temp 57, so we are talking 15, 16 degrees warmer than what we saw today. 52 on Friday, but near 60 Saturday. Most of the weekend's going to be dry. The rain's early Saturday, rain late Sunday, but staying near 60 all the way until Monday, and then starting to cool down next week.
Might be one of those rare December weekends where it'll be nice to get outside, at least for a little while.
Not too bad.
All right, thanks, Doug. To be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, all you have to do is download the KOAM News app. You'll find it free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Might as well look it up right now. Just search for the KOAM News app. Coming up in sports, the Kansas Football Coaches Association releases its 2024 All-States team. Plus, Missouri Southern quarterback Luke Sampson enters the transfer portal. Those stories and more up next.
A runner with ALS aims to compete in one.
Now.com.
Hey, and welcome into sports. We start with some college football news. Missouri Southern quarterback Luke Sampson has entered the transfer portal with 1 year of eligibility remaining. Sampson has been the starter for the Lions for the entirety of the 2023 and 2024 seasons, and for 3 games as well back in 2022. Now, in his time at Southern, Sampson has thrown for over 6,000 passing yards and amassed 56 total touchdowns. As a junior in 2023, Sampson received all MIAA honorable mention, and in his final game of the 2024 season, Sampson set the program record for most touchdowns in one game with 6 against Central Missouri. Shifting gears to Kansas high school football, the Kansas Football Coaches Association releases its all-state teams early this week. Here's a look at the local players to receive all-state honors. We begin in Class 1A. Jayhawk Lynn returner Ryan Broyles and tight end Braden Nation both get named to the all-state team, as does Colgan offensive lineman Michael Westhoff. In Class 2A, a couple more local all-state honorees. Blake Hellis from Humboldt and his teammate Kyler Isbell. 2 of them helped lead the Cubs to an undefeated regular season and a trip to the Class 2 sectionals. And Caney Valley's Ben Matthews also receives state honors. In Class 3A, just one local player named to this all-state team. That's Frontenac running back Gavin Wattoon. He helped lead the Raiders to an undefeated regular season and rushed for over 1,300 yards while missing 2 games with an injury. And rounding things out in Class 4A, 2 players from Coffeyville receive all-state honors. That's running back Aaron Tunstall and offensive lineman Keaton Jones. Fort Scott offensive lineman Luke Harris is featured as well. 3 Chinook Blue Comets are on the team, all on the defensive side of the ball. Defensive lineman Cade Small and defensive backs Quentin Harding and Elliott Stevenson. That's all for sports. We're back after this.
A classic holiday tale finds inspired new life in southwest Missouri. The McDonald County Drama Department and Dabbs Greer Theater Society brings Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol to the stage. KOAM photojournalist Ty Parks takes us inside the production for a closer look at what makes this one different and unique to the region.
We smelled it outside the baker's. Oh my, we did, didn't we? We knew it was ours.
Because it is so important to find redemption in our life. And this story just exudes that. You know, people can do wrong in their life, but if they change, it changes their life and changes everybody around them. That's why it's really important. Most celebrated alumni is Dabbs Greer. Dabbs Greer's iconic character is Reverend Alden from Little House on the Prairie. Reverend Alden was a real person, so we are doing a trilogy of plays about this character, Reverend Alden. We started in October, and it was Heartache in Waseca. This is actually Christmas in Waseca with Reverend Alden's telling of a Christmas carol.
He has walked slower these last few evenings. I have known him to walk with Tiny Tim upon his shoulders, very fast indeed. And so have I, often.
Going back and finding that emotion that's in your life. All of us have things that have really made us tear up, made us feel things inside. So you use that method, you use that emotion as you are doing that scene. So you're recalling that emotion as you do the scene.
What is today, my fine fella? Today? Why, it's Christmas Day!
I played it last year, and I wasn't as good. I was only a sophomore last year, and it was my first big role. And honestly, I don't exactly know how I can try to play this angry, mean character that everyone hates. I've kind of seen it before, and I just kind of go off of that. I just try to take account of every action that I make and just see how it affects others, because after playing this play, I can see how any action can affect other people negatively or positively. So I just try to make sure that I don't ruin anyone else's life, day, you know.
Tell me that this is not my end. Tell me, please.
Wow, tickets for the full performances scheduled for Friday through Sunday are $10 each, or $5 for bundles of 10 or more. Proceeds support the ongoing efforts of the McDonald County Performing Arts Program. Coming up, Jamie Foxx opens up about his health scare. Jeremy Allen White joins the Star Wars universe. And Aaron Taylor Johnson takes on zombies 28 years later. Jeremy Allen White has been cast to play a Star Wars character. And Jamie Foxx finally reveals why he was hospitalized in 2023. Here's Fox's Ashley Dvorkin with the latest in the Hollywood Nation.
There's no discharge in the war.
Taylor Johnson fights zombies, White joins the Star Wars universe, and Fox opens up in the Hollywood Nation. Jamie Foxx reveals what led to his April 2023 mystery health scare. In his Netflix comedy special, Jamie Foxx, What Had Happened Was, the Oscar winner shares he had a brain bleed that led to a stroke, which put him in a coma for 20 days. The special is now available to stream. Jeremy Allen White is heading to a galaxy far, far away. According to Deadline, the Bear star has joined the cast of the next Star Wars movie, The Mandalorian and Grogu. He will be the voice of Jabba the Hutt's son, Rada the Hutt. Sigourney Weaver is also set to star, with Jon Favreau directing. The film is due out May 22nd, 2026.
You're going to do as I say. Sure thing, Obi-Wan.
Christoph Waltz and Cooper Hoffman form an unlikely bond in today's first looks. The trailer for Old Guy features Waltz playing an aging hitman who teams up with the prodigy assassin he's training to take down their company after they learn they are being betrayed. The action comedy starts playing in select theaters and on digital February 21st. Aaron Taylor Johnson fights the undead in the long-awaited zombie sequel 28 years later. The film is set nearly 30 years after the events of 2002's 28 Days Later. It features Johnson leading a new group of survivors who must navigate a world ravaged by those infected with the Rage virus. Jodie Comer and Ray Fiennes co-star. The film arrives in theaters June 20th. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
And that's our time for tonight. Thanks for joining us. We're going to leave you with a video of two of Hong Kong's biggest new stars, pandas An and Kiki, meeting the public for the very first time. Let's make it a great tomorrow.